You hoes ready?
I think his hoes is ready.
Let's do it.
All right, here we go.
Are we doing this again?
Bitch, I need to get my mind right.
Are you too relaxed for this shit
No,
again?
I'm not too relaxed for this shit. I'm trying to calm the fuck down, actually. I'm trying to breathe out the negativity and breathe in the creativity. Let me do my creativity thing.
I'll allow it.
Thank you. Look at all of us needs to breathe, okay? 1, 2, 3. No, ma'am, that's not. That's not what we're doing.
I blame you for not seeing that coming.
We're gonna breathe in. We're gonna breathe one in. We're gonna do 4 in and 2 out. All right, you ready?
Sure.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Hello and welcome to Multiple Gab Wounds. I am your host, Tony.
I'm Angie.
I'm Andy.
And we are, like I said before, multiple Gab Wounds.
Yeah, sometimes, it takes a couple of times.
Yeah. We need you to know who the fuck we are.
Right.
We told you already, goddamn. We telling you again. Woo. All right, so we're back for another week, and we're trying something new. Little new setup today.
We're trying it.
The audio still sounds the same, but now we're looking a little bit different. Only one out here looking like a glamour queen is Andy, so y'all probably gonna see most of her video as opposed to ours, because these hoes were like, nah, we're not putting our faces in that shit.
No.
I don't feel like putting no makeup on, doing no hair. My hair is just as nappy when I woke up. I didn't put no grease in it or nothing, Lord Jesus.
And here I am looking at my hair in the camera. I'm like, yeah, that didn't help.
And Andy's over here like, beauty queen. What is it?
She's like, I had the forethought. I knew we were recording
She said,
today.
I got here at noon and you hoes were still in your pajamas with your armpits stanking and were putting up backdrops and shit. Like, and I was expecting that you hoes was going to have this shit together, but now. And she right, we not. We tried, but we were too busy TikToking this morning.
I love that y'all said everything that I was thinking.
I was actually researching something for the show.
I wasn't. I was laying in the bed after I ate my breakfast and then decided I was going to lay down, but my arm was hurting too bad to lay down. 2 nights ago, I slept wrong. And now my shit is fucked up. It's going to be fucked up for like the next 3 or 4 days.
Is it your arm or your neck?
It's my neck. I'm saying my arm, but I feel it like all up under the shoulder blade. It's like whatever
That's like exactly what my husband had.
Yes, it's like all up in this whole muscle. Like there's no pushing on anything to stop the pain.
God
it's
damn.
like up under. It's fucked up actually, and I don't like this shit at all.
So sorry. Yeah, my husband went through it, so I know that's just.
And this BC powder ain't doing it. Damn near ain't doing shit. So I took a little bit of Tylenol. No, and acetaminophen. I don't want to call it Tylenol. I took a bit of acetaminophen to see if we can kind of get that shit together. But getting old sucks, guys. Kill yourself when you're 49.
Don't. Wow. Just be prepared for the fact that your body is real petty and it holds a grudge.
Like, bitch, hot take. Cut that shit. No, I'm not cutting it. I mean that shit. Just end your shit. Just be like, at 49, be like, hey, let's go ahead and do my eulogies now. Give me all my flowers.
Right.
Give me everything. I want my kids to know that I love them. Nobody's getting anything in the will. I'm just telling you right now. But on my 50th birthday, I'm out of here. That's when my shit is about to start falling apart.
It does seem like it really did happen at 50.
The warranty went out.
I mean, goddamn.
Because you didn't even get 50 out your mouth good before you were like, oh,
exactly.
My back.
It's like I went to Africa for my 50th birthday. It was like I came back and immediately had to go to the doctor for something.
See, now y'all are worrying me.
It's like, motherfucker.
Andy's like, bitch, I still got a little bit of time. Andy, get your affairs your affairs in order, girl, is all I'm saying. Because this 50
you got a few months
second.
Damn.
You could just be walking and you literally pull a
Yes.
muscle in your ass.
Yep.
That has happened.
Mine is my hip, and I'm like, what the fuck?
That has totally happened. I have just been walking up the stairs, or just usual, and or bending over to pick up a penny and be like, oh,
Yeah, bending over to pick up a penny, right?
no, I do. I pick up pennies
I do not, because it requires bending over.
because
Or
all
squatting.
day long you'll have good luck.
Okay.
Thank you. Was gonna say, we don't be superstitious. Let it be about money. Let it be about getting rich. Okay,
Lord.
Let it be.
Right. Right.
So, Andy, how was your week?
Straight up, it was hard. It was
Was
hard. Yeah. I've been,
Yeah.
talking about mental health for me, I have depression and anxiety issues, and my depression is treatment resistant. They've diagnosed. So I'm on like 3 different medications for it. And the major one that makes all the difference for me, we're having insurance problems. So I've been off it for a month, and it was rough. It's been rough. I finally got back on it, but it's going to take at least a couple weeks for it to really
like
kick
6
in.
weeks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting for that. I'm hoping that'll temper before too long.
Yeah.
But can I say also, though, that on top of that, because I was already feeling, my depression feels kind of empty and dark and the sunken place. This past week, with all the wrong place, wrong time shootings, has just fucked me up beyond belief. Because it wasn't just one or 2 or 3. It was 4. And
Yeah.
it just...
Over stupid things.
I really, that almost seems redundant, because
It
it's like
almost
there-
seems
it's-
purposeful.
yeah, because there's really no good reason to do a mass shooting,
Right.
they're just they're all stupid reasons.
Well, these were, and these are the ones that were wrong place, wrong time. Like
okay.
Ralph Yarl,
Yes,
he was in Missouri. He got shot at because he rang the wrong doorbell.
I
He was
stayed
picking
pissed
up his
about
little
that.
sister, right?
He has twins.
10
Oh,
brothers.
kids, okay.
And he was going to pick them up, and instead of picking like the street, he went to terrace or vice versa, and he got shot. Then there was Kaylin Gillis, who got shot because, and this was in New York, because it was, they were turning into the wrong driveway.
Yeah, I heard of, and
I did
as
not
many
hear about
times
that.
as many
Motherfucker.
times as I turn into a driveway to make a U-turn,
Right.
And I've thought about that, even where I've been like, let me hurry up and get out of these people's driveway, but they have to realize that I'm not coming to their house, and even
Right.
still, what purpose do you have for pulling out a gun for something like that?
Doesn't make any
Do you
sense.
you
I've
know what
seen
I'm saying?
people do that in our driveway several times. What you do is you look and you're like, what the hell is
what are they
happening here?
doing?
Right.
And just
And then you
watch
see 'em
for a
turn-
second. Right.
Exactly.
If they sit there, then you're like, okay, what's going
But
on?
even still, that is not a reason to
No.
pull out a weapon. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
One time have I ever even thought to pull out a weapon, and it was because there was some violence going on across the way, and I heard something crazy. So I pulled it out and I waited, because I was like, let me see what's going to happen here before I get to, before
Right.
we get to acting a fool up in here. What's
Yeah.
the other one?
So first one, Ralph was shot on April 13th, and then the other girl was shot on April 15th. In Texas, on April 18th, the 2 cheerleaders got shot because
Getting
the
in
one,
the
Heather, was getting into the wrong
wrong
car.
car.
So, and her teammate Peyton Washington was also struck. So, again, this is ridiculous.
Wait a minute. She was getting into. I did not hear about this.
Yeah,
she was getting into the wrong
She got
car.
into the wrong car.
Oh, for fuck's sakes.
Yeah, and the last one was in North Carolina, also on April 18th. And this dude apparently shot a 6-year-old girl and her parents and another neighbor because a basketball rolled
Into his yard.
And it now she's alive, the 6-year-old.
Yeah, she's traumatized as fuck, but
right,
she's
of course.
alive.
Of
Right.
course.
Yeah, and she got hit in the cheek. So
God damn.
yeah, it's when it comes to mental health as a whole, it's rough. But then you've got shit like this happening, and it takes such an immense toll because I am I'm an empath, and I carry that shit with me.
Right.
So it's been exceptionally rough. But this is ridiculous. It's 1 week and we've got tons of gun violence going on, and it's got to stop,
and it has to stop. And that's the part that, and I 100% understand what people say when they're like, there's too many out there, and so it's never gonna stop. But the fact is that there are way too many fucking bad actors out there, and it's and it's the needlessly shot, which is the problem. And it's like people, and it's not even like, it is people out here saying, well, you know, and these folks were black, right?
Let's see. No, the one that pulled into the wrong driveway, I believe she was white.
Okay.
I want to say Peyton looked like she was light skinned, so I
could have been mistaken.
The little girl was also white.
Okay.
So it's a mixture. It's like, you know, a bullet doesn't
like,
know what race you are.
No. But the people who shoot them do.
Yes.
Right. And the fact is that y'all just are, people are out here just being wild, and we want to sit up there and say that it has to do with the pandemic, and I'm wondering what the correlation is. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like there has to be a correlation, because it's like since 2020 it's been wild in these streets.
Well, Andrew Lester, he was the 84-year-old who shot Rolf Jarl. They say he has dementia. So it's like, why are you letting a man with dementia have a gun?
Exactly.
And then, and technically he's not supposed to, but what are we going to have the gun police going from house to house to house going, hey, take this little mental health test. Oh no, give us your guns.
Right.
That's never going to happen. It's not. And I get that. I understand that emphatically. But what I also understand is that to the highest extent of the law, people need to be prosecuted. Somebody rolled into your driveway, life imprisonment. Because how are you such a pussy? How are you such a coward that you just gonna shoot somebody for that? I
stopped using the word pussy because
I understand
they
that.
wish they were pussy.
Exactly, but nonetheless, I don't have another word for it right now. So pussy, and that's what you are.
Ball.
Right.
That's what you are. Just one testicle that's fucking useless.
Gentle tap will hurt you.
Yes.
It just bring you to your knees.
And so it's like, how are you out here being, I don't know, not ballsy, because I don't want to use the connotation with that is that you're brash, and that
the patriarchy sucks.
Yeah, it really does. So point being, it's just like, that shit is wild to me. And but I don't see any viable solutions for what's happening. And then therein lay the reason why the NRA and all of, I'm going to say white male gun owners, because it's usually white males that are behind all of this fuckery anyway. And how they keep blocking it, because nobody has a viable solution to what's happening here, except to fucking leave the country, or to prosecute the dog shit out of people who accidentally shoot for no reason, shoot an eye for a fucking eye. You sit up there and you shoot somebody because they pulled into your driveway, death penalty right off the top. Fuck that. Sorry. You might be an upstanding citizen of the community. However, you out here,
you don't have common
Wild
sense.
Westing up in this motherfucker.
You don't have
the Wild West no more.
Common sense to be amongst other humans.
Right. And they're looking for these people that are trigger happy are looking for any chance to stand their ground. They want to, they're in my driveway. Okay, it's time.
So it's Minnesota and Florida that these things are happening?
Let me see. One was in Texas. Let's see. So the cheerleaders and the little 6-year-old, the cheerleaders were in Texas, outside of Austin. The little 6-year-old and the neighbors and her parents were in Gaston County, North Carolina.
Perfect.
Kaylin Gillis, who turned into the driveway, that was in upstate New York, like rural area.
Right, yeah, that's right. You did mention that.
And then Ralph was in Kansas City, Missouri.
The Kansas City, Missouri thing did not surprise me at all. Before I lived in Kansas, I had no idea how racist the Midwest was.
Oh, girl.
It is incredibly, because, I lived in the South. I'm used to Southern racism.
Which is actually a lot more polite than Northern racism.
Like it really is. But that Midwest racism, it's just, people always talk about how nice they are. And I was like, okay, yeah, unless you're a person of color. Okay.
It's just out of hand. And I'm hoping that we can actually at some point start arguing with each other and start talking to each other to come up with some solutions, because there's no end in sight right now. There's no end in sight.
I think the problem, though, with the talking is that no one wants to go into this conversation to learn anything.
No.
They want to go into this conversation to prove that I'm right.
Right.
Here's where I stand, and you should see this. And nobody's going in. It's like, okay, I'm going into this to listen.
Yeah, they don't listen to respond and understand.
Exactly.
They don't listen to react.
Exactly.
And defend.
And, it's always been that way. They don't know how to, because that's...
And I think it's a lack of critical thinking skills. And because critical thinking skills, those are skills that need to be honed because they don't come automatically to us, right? And so I think when we talk about SEL and social emotional learning and all of that other type of stuff, I remember way back in the day on Oprah and saw this guy talking about emotional intelligence and how emotional intelligence is as important, or emotional quotients is what he was talking about, which has evolved into emotional intelligence,
right,
which is part of us thinking critically about how we feel, how we're going to react to it, knowing that we have the wherewithal to be able to control how we act to stuff. People who are reactionary, it's an excuse because they, people will sit up there and be like, I don't know, I just be popping off. No. You can just pop off, but you can always take a beat to say, hold on, let me make sure that I have this situation correct. And it is a skill that needs to be honed, just like reading or writing or arithmetic. You know what I'm saying?
And people have to want to hone that skill,
and
because
that's the issue.
There are people that admire that. It's like, oh, she just pop off. I wish I was like,
And you're like, no, you really don't, because when keeping it real goes wrong, that's when you get your ass killed or hurt. You know what I'm saying? We do this and we sit up there and go, I just be mad and I just be popping off. No. You can, I was scared and I didn't know. Okay, I get that. If you are scared, the first thing, even when I'm scared, I don't go get my gun immediately. I assess the situation to make sure that what I'm getting ready to do is warranted. That to make sure that no jury in the world would convict me for this. I literally say that. It's like, if I shot this person right now, would a jury convict me of it?
Right.
Oh, yeah, they probably would. So let me not go ahead and do that right now.
Let me figure out another way.
How do we have a rational person with a gun in Texas? Like, you're one of the few rational people. I mean, I'm sure there are, I'm being sarcastic. I'm sure there are more, but there's too many who would not take a beat. They'd rather pull the trigger. Honestly,
I think it has a lot to do with, I'm going to say this and it's going to sound very funny when I say it, but I think it has to do with a respect for life. And the fact that there are some people who just don't be respecting life.
It's true.
And they're still very much in this Wild West mentality. So when America was first founded, or I'm saying founded, when those fucking colonizers came over here and, started enslaving people, there was not a respect for the life that was already here. There was barely a respect for their own lives. Everybody had a gun, and it was no thing at all for people to kill one another.
Right.
Oh, absolutely. That was the barbaric way that it was. They brought all of that over here.
And so now that we obviously, some of us have not evolved. I mean, now granted, society in and of itself has evolved, but that mentality of having a respect for life and not being individualistic.
Exactly.
Okay. And I think that with the infusion of other cultures into this country, we've become a lot more communal, but that individualism is what will basically say, I don't give a fuck about anybody else and about their lives and about any of the things that come with that. And I got no problem taking you out for me and mine.
And even with other cultures, though, it has gotten into there because that's what you see. Disrespect for life and that callousness toward life, and you tend to think from a young age, you see that in society and you think that's the way it should be.
You have to remove yourself from humanity to be able to do that. And I think that you have to justify that in some way, shape, or form. We've got folks that are, literally murdering folks on camera in other countries for religion who are deeply convicted about those religions. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So they will, and they're like, in the name of,
whatever
of our God, this is what we do. And to a degree, I understand it. It ain't right.
Right.
It's
I
not
can't condone
right,
it,
but it's okay. I mean, it's not even okay.
Right.
But But
I understand, but I don't condone.
Right, exactly. I don't condone that in any way, shape, or form. Not over some guy that. Okay, let's not get there. But the point being, to a degree, I think that there's not a respective life there either, because the fact that this just keeps happening. And here in America, it's with guns. In other places, it's with bombs. In other places, it's with war. And it just fucking keeps happening. And it's just, there are certain times when I feel that way as well.
Right.
Where I'm like, you probably no good for anything but warm food. However, there's nothing in me that wants to make you warm food. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
It's like, yes, I can't see any good in you right now. Mm-hmm. And it would make it easy for me to be able to remove myself from my humanity to be able to end you, but not simply for the sake of ending you because I feel a judgment.
That's the key, though, to be able to remove yourself from that humanity, because I'm not able to do that at all. I mean, there are people that I absolutely hate. Our former president, I hate him. And if something happened to him, I'd be like, oh. No, but I would not be able
happen sooner? Go ahead.
To remove myself from my humanity to do, to take his life. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't be able to do that because I have a respect just for the fact that people have lived life. I know everything I've gone through in my life. I'm like, that's a whole life. I have relationships. There are people that, it's life. Life is so precious.
Mm-hmm. I couldn't be God is all I'm telling you.
Right.
Mm-mm. And I couldn't be God.
And the whole idea of taking someone's life, you're not just taking their life, you're ruining the people around them.
It's not really about that person.
Right.
It's never really about that person. Right. The only reason, and kind of going back to the mental health issues, when I've gone through those depressions that have literally had me in the bed in the dark for days, and I'm like, okay, Jesus Christ, I'm about to, and I know I'm like, okay, maybe if I just disappeared, nobody would, nobody would notice. Like, hopefully, because I got to get out of here. Like, this is crazy to me. Yep. I can't continue to do this, and I just want it to stop. I just wanted to disappear. I can't leave the house, but I can't stay in this bed. I can't start having those crazy thoughts. For me, the relief comes. However, I know my mother would lose her fucking mind. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
My mom would lose her goddamn mind. My family would be devastated.
Yeah.
And honestly, in those times, that's what keeps me going. Because I'm like, nope, I'd hurt them way too much. And I love them way too much to hurt them by hurting myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Having kids did that for me. Because if
my God,
I did
my
not
poor
have
son.
children, I would have been out the game a long time ago. I'm not going to lie. And that was, I didn't even get diagnosed with my, clinical depression until I was 30. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, having my son, that definitely
I bet you
saved my life, because there were many times that it's just like, I'm done with this. This is too painful.
Right.
It's too painful and hopeless.
Right.
So,
and I understand the people who do leave us. Mm-hmm. And I know that they know that there's people that, many of them, I'm sure, know that there's people that love them. But that pain is just so great that they just can't last any longer. Mm-hmm. And, I can understand that completely.
Absolutely.
And that's why take your meds, people. Take your meds. Go talk to someone. Talk to your friends. Be open about that stuff. Because we've got to normalize talking about mental health.
Yeah, we do.
We've got to normalize it so that we can do better for each other and for society as a whole.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. And now that we've gone on that diatribe, Angela, how was your week?
My week was great. It was filled with playoff hockey. That's right. I'm a black girl that loves hockey.
Yay! Black girls in hockey.
Actually, there's a group and a website called Black Girl Hockey Club.
Oh, okay.
I'm very much a member of it.
Oh, right on.
So I like hockey, but I love Dallas Stars hockey. So they're in the playoffs. It's the first round of playoffs this week. So we watched that Monday. They lost in double overtime. I was very tired because it was a long game. Wednesday, we actually went to the game. It was fan-fucking-tastic.
Because you got to get day drunk all day long.
Yes. We got there. Well, the game started at 8:30. We got there at around 5:30. Immediately started drinking. It was fantastic.
Texting us the whole time. Hey, I'm fucked up, y'all.
You know what it is? The thing about being 50 is that I know how to drink now. You know, and it's like I don't get sick. I don't get hungover.
It was long learning for us.
Yes, it was. It was a lot of trial and error. I know right where my point is. I know how to stay happy for 5 hours, and then I know when to stop so I can drive home.
Right.
And the fact that we won 7-3 is awesome.
Oh, yay.
Woo-hoo. Not so much with last night's game, but we ain't gonna talk about it. But yeah, it was a pretty good week. Met with my therapist yesterday. It was good.
Yay,
Pretty
therapist.
positive.
My week was a little rough. I mean, I'm saying rough. My work week was hard, where I literally came home and just got directly in bed and fucked around with TikTok until I went to sleep. Until it was time to drink and then go to sleep.
Right.
I did nothing. I had no one come over. I didn't go anywhere. Yeah, no, yeah. And he's like, "What? Nobody came to your house?
No one?
I wasn't in the mood. I didn't have the bandwidth for it.
I understand that.
Cussed out a coworker and and did not get in trouble for it because everybody understood. They were like, "Nope, that
absolutely
nigga deserved it."
It was gonna happen sooner or later. We're just glad you did it.
Yeah, that person's no longer talking to me, and that's fine. I'm good with that. Please don't.
Sounds like you lucked out.
Yeah. Sounds the Lord was by my side. Anywho, but yeah. So yes, this week really was very uneventful for me. I didn't do a goddamn thing, and it felt great.
Do you feel next week will be better? Or?
No, because we have to do this again next week.
Oh, motherfucker. I'm so sorry.
I know.
I'm like, I remember when I had a real job once.
I know.
It's just a hamster wheel, isn't it?
I mean, for the time being, fortunately, I got a break coming up pretty soon. So, and when she breaks, she breaks. All right. So we had to figure out some place to go or something to do. I'm just... maybe I'll buy a house. I don't know.
I'm going on a break. I'm going to buy a house.
Yeah, I'm going to go spend the most money I've ever spent. All right. So, who wants to go first? When are we up with their topic?
Sorry, I was drinking water. I was trying to schedule that a little better. I will go first. I have a topic that is new because I just I just thought about it yesterday. But let me preface that the way this came about was that I was watching CNN yesterday, which I don't typically do, but my mother-in-law had it on, as always. And
leave that old lady alone.
It could have been Fox. So
thank you. Let her live out her last fucking days.
Is Fox.
Oh no.
So,
sweetie, I'm coming to your house. Because if I see her do that shit, I'm be like, get the fuck off of there.
She says it's a know your enemy type thing. I get that, but I can't do it.
It's because she don't have social media. We know our enemy through social media.
Exactly. Well, we know our enemy just from living.
Well, particularly here in Texas.
Right. So I came downstairs. I was actually getting ready to come here last night to spend the night, and I saw that there was a segment, and I saw Wolf Blitzer and some other lady. They were walking around. I think it was Auschwitz, which is hard to say with my current mouth.
Kind of cute. Did y'all ever? I used to think that he was a little cute.
Wolf Blitzer?
Yes.
I always thought he had the coolest name ever.
Yes, it is like the cool. And
that
I
is a pretty
expected.
badass name.
And when I saw him, and I was like, "You look a bit like a wolf."
He does, doesn't he?
Yes. I was like, "You, wow." No, that's a cat. That's a cat.
That is a cat.
Like, who taught you about wolves?
You need to go.
I want to talk to this person.
Wow. That is a fucked up wolf.
There it is.
No,
There it is.
no, it's not. That's a purring.
No.
Felines do.
That's your stomach.
Right. That's them bubble guts.
I was trying to imitate Curtis King Curtis on TikTok, who does the growl. Okay, sorry.
No, that is definitely bubble guts.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I interrupted Auschwitz to talk about how cute fucking Wolf Blitzer is. Sorry. Go ahead, please. Please.
Quite okay. I believe that's where they were, but they were talking about the Holocaust, obviously. Obviously, if anyone who doesn't think that it was horrific, I wish nothing but the worst for you. They're at this place. They're talking about it. They're getting very emotional. Obviously, it's a very emotional thing. They're reading letters, and I think that it is great for us to remember. But I also thought, why do we not have the same reverence for slavery, for the slave trade? Just the amount of death and brutality, it needs to be remembered. I did some research because I wanted to make sure that I wasn't just talking out of my ass. You know, I wasn't just having an emotional response.
Okay.
You know, so I was like, okay, let's see what the numbers are. As far as the Holocaust. Jesus, somebody help me.
The Holocaust.
The Holocaust.
Okay, stop it.
Goes.
I'm not gonna make fun of it.
Yeah, we're not doing that. I was gonna say, bitch, you trying to get us canceled before we get started?
Words don't always work. Right.
Every week we try to get canceled somehow.
Oh, before we even get started. It's like, nope, cancel these bitches.
Look at this. Turn off these cancellation moments, please.
6 million is the accepted number today of how many Jews were killed during World War II in the camps and everything. Fucking horrific, right? I read another article. Actually, it was a Washington Post opinion article that said it could be as high as 11 million, which I absolutely, I believe.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Absolutely believe that. And I got those sources from HolocaustEncyclopedia.com and Washington Post. But then I started looking. I was like, well, let me see the numbers for slavery. Now, the long accepted figure is 15 million. And that was due to a database that was compiled in the 90s. It's so much more than that. Because what I found was that just between 1821 and 1850, 1.8 million of us from Africa, and that's not just the U.S., that's the Caribbean and all of that. Okay, that is in a, 30-year time period. So you take that 1.8 million.
And multiply it.
And those are the people that came that were kidnapped, that were here.
So are you talking about that were like on the boats in the transatlantic slave trade?
Yes.
Okay.
On the boat, 1.8 million. The average number is 12% did not survive the voyage. Right. Okay. That's just in a 30-year period.
Right.
Slavery started. They started this in 1619. So we're talking over 200 years. So let's just say over 200 years, and you've got at least 30 million. You know, I just realized that my math might be wrong on that. And you know what? I hope that my math is wrong, but I don't think so. 12% didn't survive. So in that 30 years, that means 216,000 in that 30 years. So I didn't do the math right, but it's still quite a few million. I will do the math later.
Okay.
The other article that I read was from a place called futurefund.org. They estimated it at 60 million. And when you take into consideration the people that did not survive the voyage, you take in the infant mortality rate, which was twice as high as white babies being born at that time, death and disease, and the brutality and cruelty, I can easily see that it was 60 million people. And a lot of that data came from the Gelder Lehman Institute of American History. But I can totally see that. And actually, it made me realize that the reason that it's not going to get the same kind of reverence and remembrance as the Holocaust or 9/11, again, these are horrible things that have happened and they need to be remembered. But I think they get remembered because America wasn't the quote unquote bad guy in this one.
Absolutely.
When it comes to the Atlantic slave trade, they know that they fucked up, and it's they're trying to sweep it under the rug, even though it's been proven that's not going to work, but they're not going to go out of their way to do a CNN special on it or whatever. But it's just these figures and these statistics that I looked up. It's not that I'm trying to teach anyone about anything. I just looked it up for my own reasoning. I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't just loud and wrong, you know.
So I think that part of the reason that it's a little bit different between Auschwitz and Dachau, I remember being a little kid and visiting Dachau and not really understanding the reverence that I needed to have because I was a little kid. And so, you know, my brother and I were out there playing and carrying on. And my mother was like, if you don't get your shit together, you don't understand what's happening here. And we didn't at the time. Now, as an adult, I'm like, wow, I'm glad my mom kind of beat that into us. She didn't beat us. But nonetheless, point being is I think that the difference between that and America doing something similar is the fact that Germany has atoned and is in the process still of atoning. They have said, we fucked up. This was wrong. It was horrible. We are sorry. We are honoring the lives that we took. And, you know, nobody will ever name any of their children Hitler. And if they do, you know, they're not allowed to be in this country. Right. Just all of those types of things. They atoned and are in the process of atoning and making the situation right. As opposed to America, who is still walking tall in their ignorance and would like to have it still that way.
Speaking of loud and wrong.
So part of the reason that this is not happening the way that it's happening on the level that they're doing it in Germany is because America is still wallowing deeply in it and still literally clinging on to manifest destiny and clinging on to the fact that they think that it is their God-given right to be this way. The second thing is that it is happening, that there are memorials and all of those types of things. I know a couple of years ago, the National Memorial for Peace and Justice honored lynching victims.
Right.
And did the best that they could.
That was the other thing that I was adding into there is that, you know, Jim Crow, you know, Black Code, all that.
And did the best they could to honor lynching victims, as many as they could actually find. Although they know that there were so many more. Thousands that we know, you know, were never found.
Right.
We want to honor them as well. And then according to Reuters, is it called? Routers, thank you. AP, I know. Routers, not so much. But according to Routers, there is a transatlantic slave victim memorial in the depths of the Atlantic that are in the process of occurring.
That, actually.
Because, and I'm saying because, but there's no because. Decades, about a decade ago, I wrote an essay. I can't remember what it was called, but it was like some sort of Black History Month thingy. And one of the
Can I just say that I redid the math, and it was actually over the 200 years since then that did not survive the voyage. It would be 1,400,000,
which is wild.
And that's just that. It didn't survive the voyage.
Right.
We're not talking about everything else. Okay, I'm sorry.
And no, because to a degree it ties into what I was about to say. I wrote an essay talking about the Black Americans that are in this country today, and America is still very much facing their sin, even though they don't want to.
Yeah, that's the thing. They don't want to. They don't want to atone for it. In
us being here, they are still reminded of their bullshit every day.
Yes, and they don't like it.
And they don't like it. But the fact is, the ones that did not make it were the sick. They were maybe the pregnant, they were the troublemakers, but the ones that did make it were the strongest, were the fastest, were the most cunning, were the healthiest. So the point being is that our stock is great stock.
Oh, absolutely.
Like of course they should be afraid, right? The ones that made it were the ones that could survive the journey. And because of such, our stock is perfect stock.
Yep.
Now we ourselves fuck it, right? We ourselves fuck it by, you know, eating salty foods and killing ourselves and, you know, being out here being, you know, and mutating into like these crazy things. But the point being is that
50 and falling apart.
And just bending over to pick up a penny and your ass is sprained. But it's like we fuck it. ourselves. But the point is that there's no excuse for it because our stock is great. That having been said, though, for the ones that didn't make it, those are the ones that we need to honor. They were caught up in the struggle as well. Those who even just threw themselves overboard because they were like, fuck that.
Yeah, right.
I'm not doing that. My enemy has basically sold me out, because with some of them, it was the enemy selling them out.
Oh, yeah.
But then with others, it was white folks coming in and saying, you're coming with us.
Exactly.
And we don't deny that in any way, shape, or form. So for all you fucking uncooked chicken breasts that want to come at us and be like, well, you sold your own people out. No, some of us,
right?
But most of it was you. So don't come through with that shit. But that's another story.
And also their idea, and I know this for a fact, that the society there in West Africa, you would have people that you would call slaves, but they didn't.
Right, it ain't the same kind of slave.
Right, and there was none of that brutality.
Right,
involved.
Yeah. So it's like when they sold someone into slavery, it wasn't going to be the slavery that America actually had in store for us.
And I don't think that they thought that that's what it was going to be.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Yeah.
To be honest with you. Good looking out with that statistic.
And without any reverence, we need to have more reverence. We need this stuff in schools. That's why we're talking about. We want that stuff in schools. But right now, it's going to continue to be an issue because we've got people on social media who are blatant with their racism. Like we got that coach recorded the videos of saying all these slurs and talking bad about like killing. He was a coach and he taught black children and he coached black children, and he's on video saying some horrendous, ugly things, and that's not going to stop. They just social media and freaking smartphones, everything's going to be captured and it's going to be put out there.
Right.
So it's sad that we can't show the same reverence. I appreciate that it's happening in some places, but it's just not. People don't get solemn and instantly go, oh,
yeah,
all those lives lost.
Exactly.
It's not an instantaneous thing as someone brings up the Holocaust and it's like, oh shit.
Yeah, I want reverence. That's what I want. I want the same reverence that we get for 9/11 and the Holocaust for all the lives that were brutally taken due to the transatlantic slave trade.
And it needs to be nationally recognized.
Absolutely.
And not just,
it needs to be on fucking CNN at 4:00 in the afternoon.
Right. Just not just, Montgomery, Alabama gave us a memorial today. No, it needs to be, this is the National Day of Mourning. You will remember, we will name streets after, those who threw themselves into the depths of the ocean in order to avoid captivity, for those who killed themselves and their entire families so that they wouldn't have to endure your brutal abuses for generations to come.
Right. And this with the banning of the books and curriculum, and it's just like, wow, they are still on
on
their
some bullshit, right?
And deploying the same fucking tactics that they always have. It's like, wow, you guys really do want to sweep this under the rug. You want,
but you know what?
Everybody knows you did this.
I was gonna say, but that's why
the world knows.
Oh, so I'm not going to go into this diatribe. I really am not. I promise you. Don't. Seriously, don't. I'm not. All I want to say is this. Don't look at me like that, Andy. All I'm going to say...
I'm just going to look at Andy with the no one believes her. We all know better.
In as much as you said that they want to sweep this under the rug and try to blame us for our own poverty and all of that other stuff, the fact is that what we have now and the things that you want to get rid of when it comes to niggas is shit that you created.
Absolutely.
Y'all created all of this. We wanted to be productive members of society. We wanted to be separated from you. We wanted to be able to do, and we did do that.
And
you
what
kept
did y'all
bombing
do?
our shit.
Exactly.
You kept tearing it down. You kept lynching us. You kept lynching and killing our heroes and those who could help us lead the way to these things. And you are currently doing it today
because y'all can't leave us alone for some reason. We try to get away from y'all, and y'all still won't leave us alone.
I fear for those brothers in Tennessee the Justins. I fear for them.
Yep.
But point being is that we tried and you wouldn't let us, and now we're in ghettos, and now we are in subpar schools, and now we are, and I'm saying we, some, you know how that works, you know what we're talking about. Don't
right,
act brand
don't
new.
do this.
Now we are in, lead-filled houses and all of these things. There's a certain way that some of us act, and you want to sit up there and act brand new and be like, well, that they would just pull themselves up by their bootstraps, but you don't give us the bootstraps. You
don't give us boots.
You had to give us the bootstraps in order for us to be able to become independent of you. But every time we would try to do that, you would take it away from us.
Even though we were the ones that made your boots and your bootstraps.
So the fact is that you created this problem. It's fucking you, and you think that killing us is going to stop it. But let me tell you something right now. When I'm king, you will regret what you've done. You will regret what you've done.
Nope.
And that's period. Period.
She stood on all 10 toes and said that.
And this is why my wanted poster says inciting a riot. Okay. Andy, please give us a lighter note, please.
A lighter note. Okay, so I was thinking, scrolling through TikTok, because we always get back to TikTok.
We love TikTok.
Of course we do. So I saw a video of something that just hardcore memory unlocked of back in the day. I had my own phone line. I know Angie remembers
you
that.
were bougie in your house.
Yeah, she had her own phone line and the TV VCR combo.
Yeah.
And didn't you have HBO?
Yes, I did.
Yes. Was your parents rich, Andy?
They were. My dad was
well off.
My dad was really financially aware.
Oh, Lord, I wish my parents would get their shit together.
So, what I remember is playing music and recording a message on my answering machine, and being all cool, and then stopping it. Like, all I want to do is, hey, this is Angie. And then I'd trail out, and the music would come back on.
Right. The fact that you sat up there and said, all I want to do, we already know what your song was.
Yep.
Okay. So let me tell you what my song was. Mine was Turn Off the Lights. Before you turn off the lights. Before you turn off the light, world-class wrecking crew.
Yeah.
That is correct.
Oh, wow.
It was turn off and I'd let Michelle get her party in. And then when he would say, I'm the man who needs no introduction, then I'd come in. Hi, this is Tony. I'm not home right now. But if you'll go ahead and leave a message on my machine, I'll be more than happy to get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks so much and have a world-class day.
Oh, no.
Oh. My. Oh. Wow. You said the world class day.
I said because it was world class wrecking crew.
Yeah. No, that don't make it right.
Quiet storm. Guess what? And I was in DC for that shit.
Of course you were.
What was your song?
I did not have a song because I lived with my mom until I was like 26, so I didn't have that. But when I did get my
this was after I moved out. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Well, I had a cell phone, and so I did the whole, leave a message where you pretend like you pick up the phone. It's like, hey, hello. Nah, just kidding. Just kidding. There were several people who were pissed at me for that.
That got old real fast.
Yeah, it did.
It sure did. Because I used to hate calling people and their shit would do that. I'd be like, hey, it's Tony. You motherfucker.
Right. I was just never really that creative. And even now, my voicemail is like, this is Angie. Leave a message. Like, just do it. Do the thing.
And you know what? To be honest with you, mine doesn't sound too much different from it did back in the 90s. Where I was literally, hi, you've reached Tony. Unfortunately, I'm not available to answer the phone right now. Please leave your message after the tone, and I'll get right back to you. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
I did that for a while. It's like, hey, this is Angela. I do the making my voice higher. Sometimes I do the sultry. It's like, hey, this is Angie.
Right. I think I feel like on the World Class Wrecking Crew one, I was like, hi, this is Tony. I'm not home right now. I'm probably taking a shower. I'm probably in the bathtub. rubbing bubbles all over me. I'm about to get dick down like there's no tomorrow. Please leave a message after the tone and while I have cum dripping. No, I don't know.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh, like you never had cum dripping off of something.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm just saying. It happens.
I think now I need to have a more realistic message that says, hi, this is Andy. I can't answer the phone because I don't want to. Leave a message and I may or may not call you back because I usually don't check my messages.
Right. Because I am fuckless about the fact that you called today. You would probably bill collector any fucking way.
I'd be like, hey, this is Angela. Why the fuck are you calling me?
Bitch,
text me. And I may or may not get back to you. I don't know. We'll see. Could be 11 minutes, could be 11 years. We'll see.
That's pretty much it. Yeah. Hi, this is Tony. Please text me. Bye. Exactly. Get the fuck off my phone with that shit. Don't be calling me.
There's no reason for you to be calling me.
Thank you. You can send my bill through the text message, okay?
Exactly.
If you need some money from me, Fred Lawyer, go ahead on and text me with that shit.
Fred Lawyer.
Because nobody else will have me.
Even with doctors, I'm like, because I found that more of them are doing the texting because people don't want to talk to y'all.
Yeah,
that's right.
And that's fine.
Just
please press yes to confirm your appointment on Monday. And I'm like, yes, girl,
absolutely.
I'll see y'all then. Thank you for not calling me for some dumb shit because I'm in the middle of something.
Exactly.
I can just hit this text message and I don't know, continue getting grapes fed to me by Cabana girls. I'm just saying.
I love the patient portal. Because I can check all of my
your
results
records and all of that.
I ain't got to talk to nobody.
I remember back in the day, I was like, we need something like that so that each can go, the information go to doctor to doctor so easily. And now we can access that crap.
Yes, and I actually kind of remember hearing about the inception of that, where they were talking about digitizing all of that stuff in order to, and they were worried about like HIPAA laws and stuff like that, like HIPAA control, and how were we going to be able to move it and not have the wrong people see it and all of that other stuff. But I guess they got that shit together eventually.
So far, they've done pretty good because that's the way I get refills on my meds. I'm like, get on my phone, start clicking, like, and that's done.
That's how we text nowadays.
Right, we actually make that sound with our mouth. Because we're Gen X, we haven't totally got it.
And then we send it.
And then we play with the emojis in our general chat. And blow up the little poop emoji and shit.
That poop emoji was... Why don't they have a bull on the emojis?
So that you can do bullshit?
Exactly. Oh. I don't have a bull down.
That is a good idea.
I was going to grab my phone and try to look to see if they had a bull emoji on this new one, because it never makes sense to me that
I've never seen
no cow.
One.
I mean, there is a cow, I think, but it's like you need to be able to have the bull, the one with the horns, and then you put the boo boo at the end of it, and then it's bull boo boo.
You know, it's bull dookie.
It is. It's that, and I'm like,
ox.
They knew it's a.
You can do an ox.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to take a look because I think my old phone didn't have that, but I just got a new phone this week.
I don't see one for like bull, but I see ox.
Okay, because I found like I'm an old woman and I'm out here old womaning on this newfangled Samsung 23 Plus. This shit got the bells and whistles on it that I'm like, the fuck. And y'all sat up there and y'all talked cash shit about me with that old phone, but at least I knew how to wield it. This one, I feel like it's a giant sword that's too heavy for me.
Well, first of all, you talk shit about it first.
Right.
And
you gave us permission to talk
and it started reacting to your negativity.
And only responding to your touch and your voice.
So we started to pile on simply because of that.
I told her, I was like, you and I were like a hot second from calling each other and just being like, look, what do we got to do to get her phone?
Let's just get her phone.
Her phone is pissing me off. It's interrupting my day. And I don't like that shit.
It just be calling me for no reason. Hey, girl, I just wanted to connect with somebody who had like more gigabytes or I don't know. Is it gigabytes?
It's gigabytes.
Okay, just checking to make sure.
My sister works for one of the phone companies, and she said someone came in asking for more gigabytes.
That's when they say gigawatt.
She posted a picture of Jay-Z eating something, and she said, "This is a gigabyte."
big pimpin', spin the cheese. Okay.
So now I have to keep myself from saying gigabyte.
Yeah, right. I'm gonna start saying that now. Did they say gigabytes because of GIF and GIF?
Who knows?
I bet you they probably did, because to this day, even though people say, "Oh, it's pronounced GIF," fuck y'all. GIF is peanut butter. GIF is a little moving thing.
It's short for graphic interface. Graphic interface, not Jaffic interface.
Thank you. So GIF. Stop playing with us, people. We were here when this shit was invented. We probably invented that shit.
We helped invent that.
Yeah,
we went through the trauma of Gen X so that you could have
so that you could be better than us. We walked so you niggas could run
and say GIF.
Right.
I'd be wrong. I don't give a fuck about these newfangled people with their gifs with their GIFs. With their GIFs.
Why would you? I don't even understand.
That's peanut
why
butter.
You would even say that.
That's the same people that say Mimi.
Mimi.
Not meme.
Mimi? Really? People say that?
Yes.
My stars.
Yes, they do. Yes.
Y'all are dumb.
I need for you humans to be better. That's all I'm asking.
See, that's why I was saying when I'm king, look, humans will be better. We're going to start genetically modifying you niggas to make sure that you come out thinking critically and not being dumb.
When you're king, can we dress up like in the Michael Jackson video? Do you remember the time?
Yes.
So we could, because I would just love that.
So here's what's going to happen. You are going to have your own island, Andy.
Okay.
Dress up however the fuck you want to on it.
Okay.
Over on my island, we're Janet Jackson rhythm nationing these motherfuckers. Okay. We're all gonna be over there. That's our national anthem. We are a part of the rhythm nation. Woo! People in the West tonight, so we can get it right.
Everybody got their caps on.
My island is going to be an ADHD sanctuary, so we will get nothing done. There will be no dancing. There will be a lot of confusion.
Only be dancing because y'all ain't doing shit else.
We ain't got no houses. We just wait for food to come to us.
Just appear out of nowhere.
We just all we have to do is wait for one person to get hyper focused to get the food halfway done,
and then y'all have lasagna for the next 6 years.
Exactly. And the lasagna will only be halfway done because we will stop before.
Interest.
Exactly. So we'll be eating dry noodles and cottage cheese and jars of ragu.
I think I'll have a 90s island.
90s island. There you go.
I'll have a 90s island, and I'll have my overalls with down.
Your VP will be Teddy Riley.
Yeah, yes. I'll have Teddy there, but I'll also need Donald Glover because.
Well, just because.
Because he's Childish Gambino.
Oh, yeah. So.
And I need him to wear that suit he was wearing.
That red one?
Yes. Girl.
I sat there and I was like, let me observe this further. I need more details about what is wrapped around this nigga. What is happening?
He lured the fuck out of that.
Yeah, I was like, I need a 360 of this outfit.
And he gave us a 360.
Yes, he did.
Did he?
Yes, he did.
Oh, I missed that part. Well, oh, when he was out there on the red carpet.
Yeah, like a gray carpet. I don't know what it was.
When they walk up, they asked the different people to turn around, and they had a 360 camera.
Oh no, I didn't see that.
Yes, man.
Oh,
it was dope all the way around.
I only saw when he was making his little speech.
Let me go ahead and
did you see the one where he was making his speech?
No, I didn't.
God, and I'm unfortunately, because I've slept since then, I can't remember exactly what it was that he was saying. He wanted to be in something. That's what it was. It's like he wanted to be in something, and somebody else was chosen for it. And he was like, I was thinking, great, that should have been mine, or something like that. I can't remember. So sorry, I fucked it up. Childish Gambino, please call us and tell us how we fucked it up and fix it.
Call.
You know my number, nigga. Stop playing. Stop playing.
So,
are you pulling it up? Okay, so all right, so we're on.
It was the cutout part for me that I love. That
no, that's the gray suit. No, this was a red suit that he was wearing. Yeah, when and unfortunately I don't want to go looking all through my thing, but no, he was wearing this red suit and giving an announcement. Hold on a second. Donald Glover red suit. Okay,
we'll put the pics up on Instagram.
This one. Bitch,
Oh, yes.
Do you not see this thing right here?
I love it.
It's like the belt is in the cummerbund kind of. Let me see if I can do. Okay. Accept. Okay, fine. Stupid cookies.
Bitch, you better accept them cookies.
Lord, they got a little thing of Donald
yes.
with all of his outfit. This
Look
one,
at
this
that.
is where I was like,
Wow.
let me see what's happening here. So it's basically the tuxedo. It's a red tuxedo shirt with matching silk pants. The cummerbund is kind of it's not a cummerbund though, because there's a belt underneath it. It's like the cummerbund is built into the pants and it's buttoned up.
It's like
in
a
the
high
front.
waist.
It's like a high waisted pant kind of, but it's supposed to be the cummerbund. You can kind of tell and then he's got like a little corset on. Or they don't call them corsets for men. What do they call them?
Corsages or
Dubonniere.
Yeah,
Boutonniere.
Boutonniere. There we go.
Dubonniere.
Because he looks very debonair.
That's only because he smokes weed.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Okay.
And so I was looking at this and I was like, oh, and please
Yeah,
don't
that
tell
is
me
everything.
it gathers. Okay, it doesn't gather. Thank God for that. For small favors. But I was like, wait. What is this? I need a 360 of this.
Yeah.
I bet you it's cut out
It's
in the back
somewhere
like
in
Prince.
there, I
He's probably
bet.
got his ass cheeks out.
Well,
He can do that.
yeah.
Yeah, and he
absolutely
probably
can.
would. See, now this one is a nice little classic, like kind of Kevin Kline, Donna Karen look right
Did you
here.
say Kevin Kline?
Yes. No, that's not who I meant.
Calvin Klein?
Thank you.
I was just looking. I'm just going to wait and see how this turns out.
Is there a Kevin Kline?
There is.
Yes, the actor. Yes, okay, I was close.
I was going to say, I'm sure there's a Kevin
But
Kline
he
somewhere.
has nothing to do with this. This is a very Donna Karen kind of look. I think Donald Glover like takes women's suits and wears them.
Because
You know
he can.
But and what he does really, it's gender neutral because he loves his short shorts.
Yes.
He doesn't care.
And
he
he
just
has
wears
for years.
He wears what look at that. He wears what he wants to wear.
This is
Floral. He's like
like
it's
a
whatever.
whole floral pant and shirt, honey.
Yeah.
He's like, I am fuckless about your thoughts.
Exactly.
Honestly, though, I would never rock that shit, and that's of course always what you think. It's like, would I wear that? I mean, I think
No,
that.
I wouldn't wear it, but he
I would
looks amazing.
never in a
it.
million years. And I'll be honest with you, I'm like, okay, some of them. This one, I like this one. This looks like a picnic blanket that was turned into a suit.
It looks like something Andre 3000 would wear.
Oh, now this is nice. I like the brown on brown here. I like it, and it looks like it's a faux leather.
Or suede. No. Yeah, like a soft leather, not the shiny pattern.
Yeah, not the shiny. Yes.
Yeah, the soft leather. Yeah, it's really.
I like that. You having
Yeah.
your ball juice all over leather with them Gucci shoes. Come on, sir.
Yes, ball juice.
This
Yes.
is America. I love that. I love that video.
So people need to just Google Donald Glover and look at all of his outfits.
Yeah,
Yeah.
look
Because
him on
they're
the
just-
GQ magazine. This is the GQ UK.
he looks, and I think he's on a recent cover of Esquire.
Oh,
I
word?
need to get it.
I
I
can
think
see
so.
that.
It's so cute because he did a shoot and he's got a production company thing, creative thing coming out. So
Oh,
he's
good.
advertising it. It's called Gilga, and there's a video on the front of him like in an orange orchard, something like that. And he's coming. He's like, "Oh, hi," and he's just.
That's funny.
Yeah, he's wearing like overalls or something. He's fucking adorable.
Yes, that is one of Angie's boyfriends. She gets a hall pass for Donald Glover.
I do. Absolutely. Thankfully, I married an Italian version of him.
There you go.
But yeah. I
Right on.
love me some him.
Ladies, do we have anything else to talk about?
We always have stuff to talk about. But,
Okay, well then let's talk about it on next week's podcast. All right, we out of here, y'all. I have been your host, Tony.
We need to tell them where they can find us.
Oh,
and
yeah, do that.
What y'all need to do.
Fuck y'all.
She's like, I'm hungry, bitches.
You need to-
That's kind of where I'm at.
I can tell. There's a pattern here.
Look, I'm drooling as I talk.
Yeah, you guys can find us at multiplegabloons.com. There's a link there for you to find us on social media. It'll be a link tree, and you'll find us all our social media. And we want to hear from you guys, so email us at mgwlistener@gmail.com. Yeah, just let us know some of your favorite or whatever we talked about.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, 'cause-
just drop us a line,
Yeah.
say hi.
Yeah,
We're
we
still
wanna
giving
meet you.
out crystals if you want to. I'm saying giving out crystals. We're still willing to give out crystals.
Exactly.
Should you so desire them. And I don't know. I can't think of anything else right off the
Listen, rate, share, subscribe.
And we covered some heavy shit today. So
we did.
You know, mental health is serious. So is gun violence, and so is not taking into account how solemn and somber and reverent we need to be when it comes to slavery. So if any of these things touched you, we'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, exactly. Good job, Andy. Excellent. All right, and with that, I have been your host, Tony.
I'm Angie.
I'm Andy.
And we are Multiple Gab Rooms. We'll see you hoes next week.
We
Bye.
Are. Bye.
Gab Rooms.
Again with my sticky mouth.